We are live. All right, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to our evening, our nightly information session and fundraiser for Bless and Be Blessed Homeless Prevention. We are so excited to be here, especially for this Memorial Day weekend. Wow. Yes, we can ring some bells on that. Yes, it's wonderful. We actually are here and on the very weekend that is an official holiday. You know, let me come on the camera. I don't like to talk to people behind the scenes. Hi, I'm Gwen Green Aguiote, and I will be your host or MC uh, to this evening until Lizelle join us. And I want to point out, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to point out some important information for you guys, some important sites for you to go to and visit. So I'm going to share. I'll take over that, share. And we are recording. Great, great, great. All righty. And I'm going to do the sound too, in case we play a video. All right. So I'm going to point out a few important sites that you all will definitely want to visit. The first is our own Facebook page. All right. And that address for the Facebook page is facebook.com/bless, BLESS, and AND, BE, blessed, BLESSED, homeless prevention. It's the same as our name on the page. We tried to make it shorter, but bless and be blessed was taken. So we had to go all the way out. But yep, you can just type in our name after facebook.com/ and then the name of our program, Bless and Be Blessed Homeless Prevention. So that's the first thing. And we definitely are inviting people to join that page. And not only you join, but then send out an invite to all of your family and friends. And you can send out, I think Facebook allowed you to send out up to 1,000 invites per day. So you can get those invites. We have grown tremendously. This is our Sunday will be our first complete week, and we are already at 187 followers. Woo! Good job, good job. And just let's continue to get it out there, because if we could make this page a million followers, that would be tremendous all within itself. If we can get 100,000, we're taking whatever we can get and we're building on it. We're looking for exponential growth. Once we hit a certain number, 1,000, if all 1,000 people invite just 10 people, before you know it, we're at 10,000. And then if those 10,000 invite just 10 more people, we're at 100,000. So do you see how we can exponentially grow? So let's push, 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 and get this page up to 1,000 followers. We're well on our way. We're almost at 200. By the end of this weekend, we should have at least 200 followers. Not too shabby. All right. So that's the first thing. And we'll be going back to that page. On this page, you can find everything. You can find the recordings, all of our past recordings. You can find the links for all of our additional pages. See all of the videos we have here from previous nights, and all of our links, including our newest, which is our YouTube page. And we're going to be looking at a broadcast streaming live from YouTube, on YouTube as well. So we're working out those kinks, and you can find the address for our YouTube channel right on the Facebook. All right, so that's the first page. This is our information hub. Anything you want to know about Bless and Be Blessed, you can find right on this page. Okay, and that's why it's good to join. All right. And then from that page, the next thing you want to go to is our funnel. Now, this funnel is absolutely amazing. This funnel has a lot of statistics about homelessness that a lot of people don't know. As far as this is the 2023 statistics that shows over 67,000, and that's not the actual number. That's like the local number. Nationwide throughout America, the numbers are more like 300,000 homeless people, homeless veterans in America. But this funnel gives some really powerful, insightful information about how homelessness is affecting veterans, the elderly, and the disabled. And those are our three primary targets that we want to really help and assist getting ending homelessness for, because that will take the burden off of the shelters, so they can focus on women and children, which that group of people has skyrocketed too in the number of homeless, the number of homelessness in those categories, women and children, is crazy too. So we'll free, but they need, of course, they need more services, child care, parenting, safe, really child-proof environments. So we will leave the shelters to that for now. But if we can lighten that burden off of the system of providing long-term solutions for veterans and the elderly and the disabled, we can lighten the load of on the temporary systems in place. Then, like I said, we have a lot of statistics there. This funnel also tells our mission, and what we're asking people to do. This is a call to action in the battle to lock arms with us to end homelessness. And then, like I said, here are some great statistics that talk about, how many veterans comprise of the homeless population in the U.S. Then there's this video here. This is a picture of a place called Veterans Row. It sits right outside of the VA. On the other side of that fence is a large, lush property owned by the VA, and they will not allow the veterans to camp on those grounds. So the veterans have camped outside of the VA. This is why they call it Veterans Row. Most of these individuals living in tents and in their cars are veterans. I don't know how the veteran workers, employees, walk in every day with their heads held high. This is a disgrace to the men and women, our heroes that served so valiantly, that gave up their jobs, their families, their educations, gave up all of that to go and to enter the service, to enlist in the service, to be trained on how to be a security force for the United States. This is a shame. And like Lizelle says, one veteran is one too many. Homeless. All right. And then another thing on this funnel, these are clickable links. This link is very important here. Click here to give your blessing. And we're going to talk about where that leads us to shortly. All right. And so now the rest of this, now this video is really powerful. It's a day in the life of the homeless. And this focus on senior citizen population. Now imagine this. People who have dedicated their lives to raising children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, sometimes brothers and sisters, raising families. And they get to a point in their life where they retire or they're no longer able to work or, sick or anything like that. And they're living off of their Social Security or there's a husband and wife and one of their partners pass away and now they have to face life at this precious age on a single income. Now society keep raising the rent prices, the mortgage prices, and they are left many are left unable to afford the increase in the cost of living. So that's why we're seeing a explosion in the population of senior citizens. Now, this is to me is as shameful as seeing veterans on the street, if not more so, because the veterans, they're taught survival. They know how to survive. They've been trained. They're kind of built for this. It's bad for them to be there because they don't deserve it, but at least they are built to weather those type of storms. Our elderly, our senior citizens, they're not built for this. These harsh conditions, weather-wise, the heat, the cold, the rain, the snow, they're not built for that. And then the other element, those who are homeless because they are drug addicts or alcoholics or just, and they're out there victimizing the senior citizens. A lot of these people have had their wallets stolen, their ID stolen. When they get their small checks, they have to fend off predators trying to take their money. See, the streets is no place for senior citizens. It's really no place for anybody, but especially for senior citizens. So this talks about a day in the life of homelessness for many senior citizens. And even some senior citizens who they have a place to live. A lot of times their money is simply not enough for food, to supply food. And so a lot of them are going to the food banks and to the soup kitchens, just for a hot meal. This truly is a shame on America, and we're standing around saying, oh, somebody need to help. Shame on their family, shame on this. But when we see the problem, we become the answer. So if we turn a blind eye, it's shame on us too. No more. Anyone who is here tonight, this is an information session on the plight of homelessness in America. Once you have this information, we also provide an invitation to join us because we're not just talking about the problems, but we're providing real, tangible, long-term solutions. So stay around. Oh man, I don't want to hear no more of this. It's too late. You already heard it, so you're already culpable. You're already responsible, so you may as well stay for the solutions that we have. All right, and if Lizelle doesn't come tonight, we may go ahead and play this. But this is a video on our funnel. And it talks a bit about, okay, together we can provide safe living communities. We're talking about communities, not just sticking them in a house and saying bye bye, fend for yourself, but we are talking about communities for our veterans and the elderly and the disabled. Now, then we talk about the elderly, of course, the disabled. That is, they are vulnerable equally as the seniors, the elderly. All right. So now,
Well,
we've heard.
I am
Yeah,
here, and I'd like to elaborate on what you were just talking about there.
awesome.
In regards to the seniors, the issue of the seniors not having enough to live on is really nothing new. It's reached a new proportion to where the seniors have become a very large population of the homeless people. But even prior to them becoming homeless, not being able to afford housing, they already were suffering an issue of not having enough in their Social Security incomes to afford housing and food. And I can go back as far back as into the 90s and tell you stories of senior citizens. Now, here's another thing. Yes, they go get a lot of food from the food banks. They go to the soup kitchens, but a lot of people do not have transportation or a way to get there. So they don't have that option. These people are buying cat food to live on because it is cheaper than food. They're buying canned cat food, 38 cents a can. I know elderly people that I have gone to their home and discovered that they had a cabinet full of cat food, and that's what they were eating on. So the problems that the elderly people have been facing have been going on for over a decade. It has now reached an astronomical proportion that the cost of living has skyrocketed so high that not only can they not afford food, they cannot afford even housing to even stay in a house. So, and few of them have a car. Many senior citizens have outaged the ability to drive. They don't own cars and they don't have readily transportation to get them back and forth to the soup kitchens and the food banks and things like that. So the senior population is one that we really do need to be concerned about, as equally as concerned about as we are our veterans. The veterans are, like you said, a little better equipped to live in the elements. They've been to the war, they've managed to survive in the jungles in Vietnam, but they are much older now. When they were doing that, they were in their 20s. They're now in their 70s. These guys are now in their 70s. They've kind of outaged being able to live in those kind of harsh conditions, but they are better equipped for it. But our senior citizens, so, it's hard to say which genre of people, the senior citizens, the disabled, or the veterans are most important for us to take care of, but I will say this, that the first property we have is being designated to the veterans because there's already a veteran living there who's in his 70s and living alone. And so that property will be converted into a veterans location, but there's no reason why at the same time we're developing that property, we can't go ahead and develop another property in the same area for the elderly people or anywhere. We're going nationwide with this. So the plan of action here is a very simple plan of action that doesn't require a lot from anybody, just little nickels and dimes, literally nickels and dimes from everyone. A couple of nickels and dimes here and there from everybody in America that's got a heart that cares, red-blooded Americans that care. We can house all these people, and we can do it very fast. We can really do it very fast. So I'm going to let you go ahead and play that video, and then we'll talk about how fast we can do this. We'll put some numbers on it. So, Gwen, I'm going to give it back to you. I just wanted to interject that.
It's 4 a.m. in Phoenix, Arizona, and it's still 29 degrees Celsius.
God bless you guys.
The Zone is the homeless area of the city.
How old are you, babe? 69.
Baby boomers, born between 1946 and 1964. The generation that heralded the economic upswing in the USA, now homeless and living among young drug addicts.
2 people died over here. Right here? Nights ago, a gal got. Oh yeah, I heard of it.
And then I had a ranch I gave to my daughter. And I just couldn't handle it no more.
It's 6:30 a.m. and Peter Moyer Sr., age 62, heads out with Superman under his arm.
Have a good day, brother. How you doing, small brother? My name Moya in Spain means winner or champion. I started that limousine business out of the fluke, and we just flourished. It just flourished. And my name of the company was SP Transportation, strictly professional. I've had big names like Diana Ross, Holly Berry, Carlos Santana, Bette Midler, Barry Manilow. They were all my clients. And then my wife got sick. And some of my big clients said, don't shut the company down. We got plans. No brainer. My wife needed me right then and there. So I had to shut down. She needed me 24 hours. She was on dialysis, and I was getting 2 hours of sleep a night. I was taking care of her, going to work to try to get some bills paid, and went through my savings. Doctors ate up $65,000 in 4 months. In between that time, we got separated, me and my wife.
With $1,300 from his disability pension, he was also supporting his best friend's widow. Then happened what has driven many people to the streets. A rent increase from $700 to $1,500 in 3 months.
The last 2 years, I've lived in and out of some shelters and on the street in my car. I saved one of my town cars in my company, and I was living in there. And here recently, a month ago, the car finally took a kaput on me, and I couldn't afford to fix it. So I had the junkyard come pick it up, and I came straight. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was sleeping on the streets behind a building. This goes in the garbage.
During the day, Peter likes to go to the Justa Center, an NGO for homeless seniors. Here he can get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and just as importantly, air conditioning, which is a relief when temperatures outside are as high as 48 degrees Celsius this summer. Rudy Solis is one of the directors at the Justa Center. He himself was homeless for 5 years. The Justa Center helped him to get back on his feet. Those were very different times.
It's become really bad. Before COVID, we were able to move people in. It was easier for us to move them in. There was more government vouchers. There was more government assistance. COVID hit and put a stop to that. And then the after COVID is the effect of these apartment complexes going up sky high. And people on Social Security, their limit is $800. And if you're making $800 a month and all of a sudden your rent goes up $200 more, well, your neighbor can pay it, but you're facing homelessness. For the first time in your life, you're being evicted and put on the street. And there's nobody thinks twice about it. We had a 90-year-old lady that called for all her life. She'd never been homeless. She never knew nothing about it until the new landlords bought it, the new owners bought it, and they gave her 10 days to leave. They evicted her. 10 days. And she was put on the street.
Men and women over 55 who live alone run the biggest risk of becoming homeless in the USA. Young people become homeless too, but the elderly tend to die more quickly on the streets, largely due to their ailments and illnesses. Donna Mae Wilson, age 62, has been homeless for over 2 years.
I got a commercial for you.
She is a veteran. Her father was the captain of an aircraft carrier. She studied, was a retail manager before tragic circumstances meant she became homeless. Deborah Flame, age 61, never dreamt that an increase in rent would make her homeless one day. She has epilepsy, and that is very dangerous out on the streets in Phoenix summers.
So hot, because our average temperature of the concrete and pavement in Phoenix, Arizona is 178 degrees, according to the news station. I have 4th, 5th, and 6th degree burns over 30% of my body because I was on the concrete for about 10 minutes before paramedics got to me. And
I got robbed for my phone and my shoes at gunpoint. Some young kid, he woke me up, and then he said, "Let me have your money." I said, "I ain't got no money. You might as well just shoot me." And he didn't. So I know God had something to do with that. And that next morning, I thought, what the hell am I going to do? I'm out here behind a building sleeping.
Rudy is very familiar with stories like these. Baby boomers, of all people. The generation born after the Second World War that experienced economic growth and progress on a scale never seen before in the history of humankind, in the USA and in Phoenix, Arizona.
I think there's about 70% of seniors now. 70. That senior population is outdoing the younger group. These are the people that built America to where it is now. Why are we hurting them like that? You know, they broke their backs to do what we did to have what we have. And I don't know the answer really, to be honest with you. But I just see that if somebody doesn't step up and be serious about this, instead of just throwing the millions of dollars around, the senior population will outgrow most of all of it. And then what's going to happen with the population coming below them? It's going to triple it. And society is not looking at that. Our government officials aren't looking at that.
1,500 homeless people are living in the zone near the city center. Phoenix has been booming and growing for years because companies, along with their employees, moved from California to Phoenix as things are less expensive here in this desert state in Sun Valley in Maricopa County. On the one hand, city authorities are proud of this rate of growth.
We not only have a lot of baby boomers in our community, but knowing that they're on fixed incomes, and when housing prices do increase and their rent may increase dramatically, they're not able, their income is not increasing, so they're not able to keep up with it. So here in Maricopa County, we are finding that people over the age of 55 on fixed income is one of the fastest growing populations of people experiencing homelessness. What we really need to do is focus on preventing people from coming into homelessness. Until we are really able to help prevent as many people, keep as many people housed as we can, we'll sort of always be in this crisis mode of trying to find someplace for them to go, someplace safe for them to be, and necessary resources to help them get.
In January 2023, the official number of homeless people in Maricopa County, including Phoenix, stood at 9,642. 49% of them had no emergency shelter overnight. Out of the 1,500 homeless people in the Phoenix zone, 900 at least have a roof over their head at night. 600 sleep outside. Like Vicky Eichelberger, age 68 and single. First, she lost her home in Nebraska, and then she lost her papers on the way to Arizona. In the eyes of the American authorities, she doesn't exist anymore.
I was married 38 years, worked at a feedlot for 38 years, and I started working when I was about 9, mowing yards, raking yards. I've worked all my life. Yeah, I finally got my teeth today after they was stolen. And they was only 2 weeks old when I moved down here. They stole them from where I had my clothes and stuff. I had my clothes stolen 3 times since I've been here. And the last time they stole my clothes, they took my teeth right out of the container that they was in the cleaner with. Yeah, I'm surprised that I see people my age or older that are homeless.
Amy Schwabenländer is the CEO of the Human Services Campus with its 16 partner organizations. She looks at the portraits of homeless people who have found a home again. And from her office window, out at the 600 homeless people they are unable to house overnight.
It hurts me every day. It hurts me to know that the resources are available in the U.S. to be able to help everyone, and we're not doing it as a society. It hurts me that we're not treating homelessness as a public health crisis. We know housing is health care. People can't be healthy without a home. Yet we can have almost 600 people living right around us, and all the organizations here are doing everything they can to connect people to services, put them on a path to housing, but we can't end homelessness today for every single person.
We are standing on holy ground, and I know that there are angels all around. Let us praise him, praise Jesus now. We are standing in his presence on holy ground.
And we're going to stop it right there. If you want to see the rest of this heart-wrenching video, you can go to our funnel. The link to that funnel is on our Facebook page, but let me give you the address to it. It is Blessed, BLESSED, to give.
Gwen,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
just bless and be blessed.
Okay. Yep. Let me get that. It's Bless and Be Blessed. Lizelle, give that to me again.
Bless and be blessed .org.
Okay. You guys hear that? Bless and be blessed.org. And you will see that entire funnel, and you will also see the rest of that video. I tell you, that thing is heartbreaking. And you hear him at the end singing, "We are standing on holy ground." We're going to talk about the solution. We've delved into the problem, but don't just sit and cry, because we have a solution and a call to action. Lizelle, would you like to share about the solutions that we have in place?
Absolutely. So, as you heard the man who facilitates that shelter there talking about how, or the woman actually, the CEO, talking about how, the country has the resources, but things are not being done. And the other man was saying, this has got to be a people stepping up to the plate to take care of this problem. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to fill in where the government is not taking care of these matters. And we are here to step up to the plate and show that we care. And together, as we, the people, do something about this problem. So as I said before, we've got a solution that is very simple, very easy. It's a permanent solution. It's a self-sustainable solution, and it doesn't require anyone to give really more than $1 a week. $1 a week. If you care about these elderly people, our veterans, and the disabled people having to live the life that they're living out there this way, $1 a week will make a major difference nationwide. Nationwide. 1 million people who contribute and become what I call one of the first million people here is going to get to carry the title forever of being 1 in a million. 1 in a Million, the Founders Club, helping us get this show on the road. The first million people play a very intricate part in helping us get this thing pushed over the edge to where we are building little house villages, each of these villages accommodating a different genre of people, like one village, which is the one we have right now that we're ready to break. We're already breaking ground on it. We're moving forward with putting veterans on that property. So this is going to be, you see the little cabin that she's showing you right there? That's the type of little structure that's going to be put on that property. We can probably put about 40 veterans on there. So how are we going to support the property, though? How do we make this sustainable? It's one thing to build the houses, collect money and build the houses. But see, here's the thing. We're not going to use the money that people are contributing to go and just build the houses. The first thing we're going to do is open thrift stores. All over the country, we're going to be opening up thrift stores. For every million people that are committed to giving that $1 a week, we can open multiple stores throughout the nation. That first $1 million will allow us to open at least one store, if not more, as well as work on developing the first property for the veterans and probably put a couple of these little houses out there, just that first $1 million. We can actually open the store. We don't need a whole $1 million to open a store. So as we grow towards those million people, we're already moving into action. In fact, we are already housing homeless people. I've been in the industry of, if you want to call it an industry, or the mission or ministry of housing homeless people for over 20 years. It's been a major part of my life. I do not like seeing people suffer. Particularly women with kids, particularly our veterans, particularly the disabled, particularly the elderly. It's hard to say which one matters the most. But I have always done whatever I could to try to figure out ways to alleviate some of this homelessness. Well, now we have a way, with everyone participating, we have a way together to actually knock it out, just in this whole mess. It's as simple as running thrift stores. Thrift stores are a business model that have no losses because the inventory is donated in. There's no cost to the inventory. It is a business model that does good in any economy. They thrive even more in a bad economy because people are looking for good deals. So as we are building these thrift stores all over the country, and creating little tiny villages nearby each of these thrift stores. So the thrift store will be in a major municipality in a heavily populated area. The first thrift store is going to be in Denton, Texas, because we already have enough inventory to fill up a store already. It's in storage units, shipping containers, everywhere we can find a store. We're actually turning away donations right now because we do not have another place to put it. So as we are developing these thrift stores and going from one large major populated area to the next, we're also looking for areas of land on the outskirts of those areas where we can put these tiny house villages and move. Maybe one village is particularly for elderly women. Maybe another village is created for people who are in wheelchairs, and there's special provisions for them. These villages will have transportation where it's needed. If people need transportation to get to doctor's offices, go shopping, go to wherever they need to go, we will be able to facilitate that as well. So all of that funding comes from the activity of the thrift stores. So the number one thing, the high priority here right now, is to be bringing in 1 million people as fast as we can, and behind them another million and another million and another million, so that we can take this nationwide so fast. Let me give you some numbers on it. 1 million people committed to $1 a week. That's $5 out of pocket for the month. You know, if they make a $5 payment, that covers those months when we have a 5-week month. That means we're getting $1 million per million people. Excuse me one moment. I do have children with me tonight. Excuse me. Girls, I need y'all to run outside to the trampoline for a little bit longer because I'm on this call. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that, guys. They're just getting louder and louder. 3 little girls. But at any rate, as we build, take that first $1 million, we're opening a thrift store before we even have the first 1 million people in place. So then the second 1 million people coming in, we're opening yet more stores. As we're already developing one property with, like I said, we already have a property that's established, ready to roll. It's already got utilities on it. There's a house there, and we're ready to start putting the tiny houses on there and filling this property up. We can probably put around 40 veterans on that property. That property is already designated for our veterans. But at the same time, we're developing another store in another community and another store in another community. And we're continuing to grow this. For every 1 million people that comes in here, we are able to open probably 2 more stores for every 1 million people that come in here and commit to that $1 a week. Because listen, 1 million people committed to $1 a week means $5 million. $5 million, call it a 5-week month. Let's just say every month had 5 weeks in it. You give them $5 a month. That's $5 million every week. Every one of those $1 million represents another store. Another store. So 5 million in a week. That's 5 stores in a week. The second week of the month, there is another $1 million coming in from another group of people. So that $1 million now, we're opening up that many more stores. And it just keeps compounding. This is about compounding a single dollar bill to become compounding millions of dollars to be able to open literally hundreds of thousands of stores. It's a simple solution to ending all this homelessness nationwide. And then we can expand this over to other countries, overseas, the same model. Once we've done it here, we know we can just go right over to another country and help them do the same thing in their country. We won't even be finished here before we will already be expanding over into other countries. So we're already looking, we've got people in locations across the country that are saying, I want to be part of this. I want to help get one of those stores open. I want to help manage it. I want to help, do whatever we need to do to get this going in my community. A lot of people are saying this. I want to help get this going in my community. So as we find people like that, then we're able to start soliciting to the businesses to help us get the word out, to the churches to help us get the word out in that community. And there's already people like you. Maybe you may be in Atlanta, Georgia, or Florida, or somewhere right now. It doesn't matter where you are. When you contribute, you're helping the overall picture grow, and eventually we will be in your community too. But wherever there are people that pop up and say, I want to help with getting my store opened up here in this area, that's where we start looking for the real estate. And the next store that gets opened up, as this money keeps coming in, one store's open and it's rolling and going, then we're looking, where can we open another one? Who's wanting to help get us, find us a location? Maybe needs a job, working in the thrift store. We're going to be providing a lot of jobs. We're going to be employing people in the community. We're also going to be employing people who are disadvantaged and have a hard time finding jobs. We're going to have a lot of people volunteering to help as well. And we are going to teach people the skills of building houses by having them learn how to build these tiny houses. So there's a lot of good for the community in this, including every store having its own food banks. In the back of every store will be a food bank. There'll also be financial education there and other services, advocates to help the veterans get their VA benefits. We'll have people helping them. So the stores themselves actually serve as the community that they're in. As we open each of these stores, and we will be just bouncing all over the United States. We're already looking, we've got people right now in Colorado, Denver, Colorado Springs area, we're ready to go there. Florida, let's see, where's some of the other places we've been talking to people? California, Las Vegas, we got people there wanting to help get stores open. And as we go across the border, we're going to Canada as fast as we can. Canada also has a huge problem with the homelessness. So, this is a simple problem to solve. Most of the time, most problems have a very simple solution. but we're overthinking it, and we're looking for somebody else to take care of it, and we're depending on the government to do it. The government's not doing it, not going to do it. People need to just forget about that option. They've had many years. I've been working with the homeless since the 80s, and it has not improved. If anything, it has just grown outrageously out of proportion, out of control. It's out of control. It's epidemic. The government is not going to fix this problem. We are going to have to do this, and we can. And it's not going to hurt anybody to participate. They won't even feel the pain, because at $1 a week, at the rate that $1 is worth in today's economy, that dollar, you will never notice it missing. But it will do so much good for so many people, because you just commit to that $1 a week. And maybe you feel generous and you want to be a bigger help. Maybe you got a bigger heart for it. You want to give more. That's great. The more everybody gives, the more we get to do faster. But just on $1 a person, for every red-blooded American that has a heart and cares about our veterans, about our elderly people, about the disabled people, we can do this. We can do this. And we can do it very quickly, very, very fast. Our goal right now is to have 1 million people in place before July 4th, 1 million people. I think we can do it before then. I really do. And I know that on the way to that 1 million, we will already have a store opened up in the Denton area. That first store will be opened. And it will be everyone who contributed, no matter where they are on the planet. We got people contributing this in India, looking at this going, hey, I want to be part of that. That's amazing. And I can't wait for them to bring that over here to India. So, it doesn't matter where you are. You're contributing to the overall bigger picture. It's not about whether or not we're opening a store in your particular area. You help us get one store open anywhere. That store then becomes the second store somewhere else, and a third store somewhere else. So we're anxious, to get to work with you, and we got a lot of things that you can use to learn to share this with people. Little handout things. We got the YouTube page. You definitely want to join our YouTube page and be sharing those videos on your Facebook page every day, and inviting people. Hey, come to this live thing. Come to this live thing. Be sharing our link to our live thing so people can get in here and hear what's going on here. Every night, Gwen is just such an amazing presenter on this. And it's because her heart's truly in it. She truly understands this inside out. And her coming in here every night and, almost every night, none of us can come every single night. We try to, but as more and more people are coming in here and talking about what they see in this, the value of it, how much it has to offer for so many people, with no one really being out of pocket anything that they're going to actually miss. They're not really going to miss that money. It's not enough to miss. So we're excited that you're here, and we are looking forward to spending more time with you and getting a thrift store open in your area, as well as you help us open thrift stores wherever we're opening them until we get to your area. And if you're interested in volunteering with us, you want to help run a store, or do the things in your local community to help us get this going there, well, let us know so that we know, hey, we got another area over here to focus on. There's people over here who want to help get this going in their community. And we will be moving in your direction to go get that store, get that property, get the word out to the people, and get the stuff coming in that we can convert into the money to make these little villages self-sustainable. So God bless, and thank you for being here. I'm going to turn this back over to you, Gwen, and I'll hang around if anybody's got any questions, but I'm going to turn it back to you to finish out, Gwen. And thank you so much for being here. And I come in here, I'm just always amazed at the how you handle these calls, and your heart being so into this and so committed to it. It's very touching. And
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I feel the same way. I thank you for giving all of us the opportunity to come together on such a powerful project. And now I have 30 years experience helping people start businesses. And I've helped many nonprofit organizations get grants. And I've always asked them or encouraged them to find a permanent, a long-term funding solution. Because if they just live on grants alone, every year their good works are in jeopardy of not being able to be performed if they don't get the necessary funding. So I've always preached that we really, every nonprofit organization need to find a permanent way of bringing funds in. This is one reason that I'm so very excited about this program. This is a long-term solution that have the ability to be self-sustaining. Now that is major, major. Not only can we rest in the fact that this, it's up and running, it will run into pituitary. It will run forever because it will fund not only itself, but the other programs. It will help us to duplicate these efforts. So now, like Lizelle was saying, this long-term solution will provide jobs. It will provide counseling. It will provide true homeless prevention. We heard what the counselor said in the video. Number one is to try to keep people from entering into the homeless state. So if we help people with rental assistance and with paying those utilities, we can stop people from becoming homeless. You see that? So that is going to be another major part that these thrift stores play. I envision these thrift stores becoming a hub in every community that they're in. That is what will set us apart. We are not just a thrift store. I love Goodwill. I like the work that they've done. They've done work to help provide jobs for physically disabled people. That's their ministry. And that's what they do. We're not going to see them doing anything for homelessness because that's not their ministry. So, what they've done, they've created a model for us to follow. Now, Goodwill has a proven track record. They are a $300 billion organization, and they've gone unchallenged. They've showed us that that's a massive market. That's a massive market that they've carved out. So we have proof of concept. So we're not talking about going in and trying to create a market. The market already exists, and it's a big market. And for people who have a desire to help with homelessness, they are going to just naturally be drawn to our stores because that is their fight too. That's their ministry. So we are here. We're not fighting against anybody. We appreciate everybody, but we're just doing what we're called to do, which is help eradicate homelessness. And so we want you to join us. We want you to lock arms with us. A little bit will go a long way. I heard something powerful last night. They were asking people to give their spare change. And the speaker, he said, now some of you may say, well, what can a change do? And he said this, change will make a change. So no amount too small will not make a change. So when you hear us saying $1, we're talking about the 1 in a million club. 1 million people give $1. I say 10, but because we don't want to hurt anybody. We want to make it so effortless that you don't even think about it. Here, count me in. I want to be a part of this mission. So if 1 million people give $1, $1. And so many may be hesitant. A dollar won't do anything. Oh, yes. Change will make a change. 4 quarters will make a change. All right. So join us. Go to our Facebook page. Look at our videos. Go to this funnel. The link for the funnel is there. You'll find out a lot of great information. You'll even find out more about that little cabin that you see there. You'll find out, you can watch the rest of that video. You can learn more about Veterans Row, and you can click on that link and join us to be a blessing. It'll take you right over to our fundraising page, and you just make your selection. And so what the one, and you have an opportunity to make a one-time donation of any amount you want, and a monthly subscription, a yearly subscription. So the 1 in a million club is when you make that commitment to give at least $5 a month. You sign up on the subscription. It's a done deal. You are now in the 1 in a million club. So come on, join us. And we're excited to have you. We're going to be having different honorary mentions and plaques, and where your name is engraved. And also, we're encouraging people to give in memory of a loved one. Give in memory of a loved one who may have passed away. And their name will forever be memorialized as someone who is a member of the 1 in a million club. All right, that's about it for us tonight. I think, are there any questions? Would anyone like to share your reason that you have joined this fight? The mic is open. Is there anyone who would like to share their reason because, your reason may resonate with someone. I've shared my reasons behind it. Lizelle have shared her reasons behind it, and somebody else that may not even touch the surface. And so if there's anyone else who would like to share their reason, the reason that they are involved in this battle, feel free to open up your mic. Don't be shy. All right. And so, like I said, if you continue on down the funnel, you see some other things that we can do, what we're asking people to do. So how can you contribute to the cause? How can you contribute? Some people may say, well, I really want to be a part of this thing. You can join the movement. You can go on our Facebook page and start following. You can join our YouTube channel, and you can sign up for our charity and give either a one-time donation of whatever size, $1, $10, $100, $1,000, $1 million. Yeah, give whatever God lays on your heart to do. And you can join the 1 in a millions club by subscribing to the monthly subscription of at least $5 a month, more if God laid that on your heart to do. And so you can join this movement. You can help identify areas where that may be good for a thrift store location, or a village, a community village, a tiny homes village. So there's so much that you can do. You can volunteer your time. We have a email campaign that will be going out, launching, where we are reaching out to veteran-owned businesses, and we have the emails written. All you do is send them out. We have reaching out to churches, asking for their involvement. So anywhere, I always say this, get in where you fit in. Wherever God lays on your heart to take a part, to play a part, then by all means join us, because this is a big battle. This is a big battle. Okay, and it's going to take all of us. It's going to take a lot of us to get this done. And now, then another thing you can do, share the good news. Once you join the Facebook page, send out an invite to other people. I think Facebook will allow you to send out 1,000 invites a day. So go ahead and send out your invites. Let's get that group to 1 million. We get that group to 1 million, right there we have everybody we need to make this fly. So once you have 1,000 people, 1,000 invite 10, that's 10,000. The 10,000 invite 10, that's 100,000. And 100,000 invite 10, that's 1 million right there. Bam, we have 1 million. It's not going to take 1 million to get that first store open. But that is our ultimate goal. But our first goal is to get that thrift store open. So go ahead and you get on here. This is a beautiful song. This funnel is so rich with information and inspiration. So go ahead on and join the group, and then get over here to blessandbeblessed.org. This is our funnel. All right, that's it. And I'm turning it back over to you, Lizelle, and saying good night. Thank you guys for joining us.